Hey everybody, it's Cybersecurity Month, and today we're going to find out who is FS ISAC. Who is FS ISAC? FS ISAC is the Financial Services Information Sharing and Analysis Center, or FS ISAC. They are dedicated to reducing cyber risk in the global financial system. They serve financial institutions and also the account holders at financial institutions. And how do they do this? Well, they leverage their intelligence platforms, their resources, and their peer-to-peer networks of experts to be able to anticipate, to mitigate, and also be able to respond to cyber threats as they arise. FS ISAC has headquarters primarily here in the US, but also has offices in the UK and in Singapore. FS ISAC was created in response to the US Presidential Decision Directive 63, issued back in 1998, but also then updated in 2003 by the Homeland Security Presidential Decision Directive 7. Well, that's a mouthful. Now, the consortium was founded with a mission, and that mission is to help ensure the resilience and continuity of the global financial services infrastructure and individual firms against acts that could significantly impact sectors' ability to provide services that are really critical to the orderly function of the global economy. Back in 2017, FS ISAC expanded its geographical footprint by setting up regional hubs in London and in Singapore. With strong support from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the Asia Pacific Regional Analysis Center became fully operational back in 2018. Now, who are members of FS ISAC? FS ISAC is again made up of the industry that connects really about 7,000 member institutions, financial institutions, and more than 15,000 plus users within about 70 different jurisdictions. They encourage financial institutions to apply for membership. You do have to apply for membership. The types of organizations that will be members, that's going to be banks, security firms, credit unions, financial trade associations, even insurance companies or investment firms. We also see payments processors and bank service providers that are members there as well. Why should you join? Because then you get access to the critical intelligence that will allow you to be able to risk and, more importantly, stay ahead of relevant cybersecurity threats, or just really threats in general to the industry. Because it helps you to be prepared for a crisis by receiving warnings early, by allowing you to be able to be part of strategies that will help to address possible events. It allows you to also be able to build relationships by being able to meet peers in your industry as well as other public and private sector experts that will be able to help you, again, in the event of a crisis. What FS ISAC does is they provide intelligence within sector-specific coverage. You receive critical cyber intelligence, and you are able to stay aware through their offerings of alerts. They got all kinds of email alerts. They're color-coded. It's really cool. Their indicators, their member insights, their threat assessments, and their analysis. Now, it has been a little while since a professor attended an FS ISAC meeting, about maybe a year now. But I can tell you that from when I did, this is where you would go to learn about threats before they happen. This is where you hear everything almost as it's happening. In my opinion, this is where everyone in the industry should be if you want to stay ahead of the evolving cyber threats that plague our industry. I can recall many times being involved in things there during those calls and interactions that it was as they were happening, that it was almost as the breaches were taking place. And we're starting to notice it because credit card information, other personal information we're finding is being now sold on the dark web. And a lot of this would actually be found just before the media would even be out there saying this is what's happened. They're really a progressive group, and I want to say an aggressive group. They're one of the top ones that I recommend if you're wanting to stay on top of what's happening with cybersecurity in the financial landscape. Highly recommend them. Well, folks, that concludes our Who is Wednesday on Who is FS ISAC. If you've got any comments, you can always message me or email me, kevin@paymentsprofessor.com. I'd be glad to hear anything you have to say in relation to this video. Other resources for cybersecurity, definitely would love to hear those. And if you got any ideas on videos that you would like to have the professor create, let me know. Until then, have a wonderful Who is Wednesday.